here we are, very near Last Chance to Dance. Something I didn't talk about. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I'm not, it was John first bought a CD player to the disco. I didn't really like the idea because I'm old school and I was vinyl. But it was brilliant. I was wrong. John was right. I was wrong. John was right. And advantage, records are heavy. Not on their own, but when you get about 300 or 400 of them in a box, or about 50, 12 inches, they are heavy and heavy to carry. We had one DVD player, what John bought. When we were working together, I imagine that's Time Up 2 or Spiral. And it was a good idea. We started to carry a lot more CDs. Now, after John and me parted ways, because he moved on to his own show and etc., and I was working with Karen, me and Karen bought 2 CD players, and we replaced 90% of the vinyl to CD. And that do make life easier. Is it easier to find a track on a CD because it's just putting a number in? Number 6. On a record, you've got to find that little bit in between the 2 records and put it there and then tune it in. On headphones, we used to use a telephone, which was converted to headphone. And I have a cough. So me and Karen went 90% to CDs, and it did make life a lot easier. And yes, I was wrong and John was right. But it's not the first time that I was wrong. It's not the first time that I was wrong. Now, coming next, before the Last Chance to Dance, is what I've got hid in my secret place, my own disco. Well, here we are back in the Kia Rio GT. Still got it. Our 4th year with it. Now, I may have been a bit harsh and mean with Neville, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never met Robert, and I would have never done any discos whatsoever. I'd probably been a Sky pilot or something. It ain't a Sky Pirate, is it? I may have been a hitman for Mothercare.
Or Toys R Us.
Or Toys R Us. I may have been a bit harsh with Neville, even though every single thing I said about the toilets and things, he did that. It was true. But if it wasn't for Neville, I probably wouldn't have met Robert and done any discos with Robert, would I?
No.
No. I don't know what's happened to Robert. I've tracked down just about everybody, but not Robert, which is a shame. Now, moving on, talking about the discos I've done over the years, I had a little run where my daughter Emma came with me, and we done some amazing bookings. We done a child's booking where I gave away a lot of Pokemon cards, the set one.
The base set.
And now they're worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know. We done a booking for a little girl called Emma who was suffering with a brain problem. She didn't have long to live. She loved her horses and music. And we went into this little girl's, I believe their house, but it was a big place. And we done a disco for her, me and Emma, and it was absolutely a fantastic show. But lovely little girl, very intelligent, loved her horses, loved her music, and seemed very, very happy. Had marvellous parents, which must have been really, really, really hard on them. One of them discos where you remember all them years later. And I never forgot that little girl. Lovely little girl. I've done a few discos with Emma. We done her weddings and stuff. But it was hard work because, you know, lifting equipment and all that. Emma was pretty young. The Pokemon cards we gave away was a Halloween party where the woman at the end of the night tried to book me up for the next 5 years. And I knew I was coming to an end. And I didn't take them. I passed them straight over to Andy. Devil's chance to dance. Take your partners, because this is the last chance. It's the last chance to dance. To dance.
Last chance to dance.
Thank you, John.